they're riding hard with the Democrat Party, but some think there is an argument for more black folks to lean right. Take a look.
There is nothing more American than being black in this country.
Blacks for Trump. I like those sides.
We sit in these really bad, dilapidated, broken communities. Democrat policies have continuously been implemented, and they have.
Hey, y'all, gravity.
It's over for the Democrats.
I'm gonna see if this is actually going to work. I don't know if it's going to work.
Recent years,
it's probably not going to work, but you know, we gonna try something. I'm gonna see if it works. Oh, why the hell did it stop? Here we go with the crap. I want to see what this Tezlyn thing talking about. Let me see what this going on with.
Issues such as the passing of the Emmett Till Anti-Lynching Act in 2022.
This is a live reaction, YouTube.
But for many black voters, this simply is not enough. Black people account for around 90% of unemployment in the U.S. this year. Many are looking to their local and federal leaders asking, what have you done for us lately?
Vast majority of black Americans look at the Republican Party as the enemy. We look at the Democratic Party. We are very transparent in our support for them. So because of it, they have a license to take us for granted. The Republican Party has a license to summarily dismiss us because they believe they'll never get our vote anyway. And then we end up finding ourselves devoid of any kind of representation whatsoever.
A lot of them are not making black folks a primary priority and putting the resources behind it. They're paying lip service, and that's why you see the turnout that you're seeing.
And while the Democrat Party struggles with how to connect with younger black voters,
I'm a 16-year-old black male, and I'm a proud nationalist. I don't believe any of those things being exclusive. Yesterday, Donald Trump was a proud nationalist, and the left lost their mind, calling him a racist, a bigot, and a white supremacist.
28% of black Republicans are under the age of 30. Now, that age group is the largest demographic for either party.
They are a generation that has been incessantly influenced by social media. They have always had access right in the palms of their hands to any and everything. And so they are valuing things like LGBTQ plus rights and the intersectionality of their identities as opposed to conservative and traditional values. Now, one would think that this would be a problem for the right, but in actuality, what it has done is it has emboldened those who would be more moderate or traditional to really cling on, specifically black men, to conservative values and principles.
People have had enough of this.
Oh Lord, they didn't bring out. They bringing out everybody
because of the violent tactics the left uses against people.
Regardless of party affiliation, black conservative values have been at the forefront of this election cycle, even splitting the vote in some states like Louisiana, which recently elected a Republican governor for the first time in 8 years.
We're going to hold everyone, and I mean everyone, accountable for violent crime.
From arguments over school choice.
According to the U.S. News and World Report, 15% of all of the schools in the United States of America are magnets or charter schools. Yet they represent 60% of the top performing schools in the country. So you ask yourself, well, damn, I mean, if we figured out how to run good public schools, why not run more good public schools? Because the teachers' unions have convinced a number of politicians, most of whom are Democrats, many of whom are people of color, that if you allow these children to leave this failed school system, then this is hurting children who are left behind. But then why leave them behind?
Finding solutions to gun violence without compromising Second Amendment rights.
She got a gun, yo.
I love the Second Amendment. God gave it to me. Not one politician, not one government legislation can take it from me, period.
And of course, the ongoing battle against police brutality in this country.
No more games today.
Now more than ever, the black voting bloc is more nuanced and more determined to see their political ideology turn into real policies, no matter what side can get it done. But with so many voters with differing values, the question is, do we lose our collective power at the ballot box?
Black people have supported Democrats, overwhelmingly for 50, 60 years.
And this is like a 10-minute intro. What the hell?
Nothing has changed. So something's got to change.
All right, fam, go get some wine and popcorn because I have my brother Gary Chambers joining me to unpack some of the nuances. There's more Tez on 10 after the break.
We are at.
All right. So, okay. AL Gravity and they above ground living. I guess I got to say it again. Yeah. while that's on a commercial, how y'all doing out there? I'm glad y'all are doing well. Election night out there is getting crazy. Of course, the Democrats are getting their ass kicked. Not the Democrats. The Republicans getting their ass kicked out there because, of course, they won't come talk to black folks. But you know, it is what it is. They don't listen, boy. They never listen. They don't care. So the only good thing that came out of this tonight is Daniel Cameron lost. So yeah, there's that. I know this is a late live, but this needs to be right. Let's see. Yeah, here you go. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear. We love you. Good night and God bless. Yeah. So he won. GOP's Camilla wins re-election in Greenwich. This is up in Connecticut. Let's see. Virginia Senate District 30 Democrat Danica Rome has defeated Republican Bill Wolf in one of the state's most closely watched contests, the Associated Press declares. Okay. And of course, there was some bullshit going on down in Philadelphia, but you know, that's to be Pennsylvania. So that was to be expected. Let's see what else we can update y'all on. Brittany Timberlake won her New Jersey Senate race. All right. Ohio voted to get abortion on the ballot. So there you go. How am I watching her live? It's called cable. And hello, Somali against Pan-Africanism. It's called cable. Cable on the TV. Yeah, that's a thing here in America. I don't know if they got it up there. Denise Scales, Dan Cameron didn't have a snowball chance of hell winning Kentucky. He actually did. It's a red state. He did. It's just, you know, new black media screwed him up because we showed him for the jack off he is. All he cared about was he tried to ride with Breonna Taylor, and that didn't work. And you know, he a bootlick. So it is what it is. Yeah. The GOP needs to call for a special counsel to dispose of GOP chairwoman Ronna McDaniel after the failures of the GOP in the 2023 general election. Well, that's who y'all put up there. That's your fault. Oh, they're back, I think. Yeah, I think they're about to come back. And they're back.
There's never been a middle. There's always been, you're either on one side or the other. And that's what we're seeing. That's why 90% of black people vote Democrat and 10% vote
Chicago,
Republican,
hello.
right? Because overwhelmingly, it's like, look, we're either going to be for people that we're not.
Forgot to tell you hello.
Welcome back. I'd like to introduce you to my co-host, my brother, Gary Chambers. If you're not familiar with him, you will be by the time this is all said and done.
Oh,
having run for U.S. Senate as a Democrat, he is no stranger to politics, but you don't hold back the criticism for either party, which is why I wanted you here. Now, many remember you from going viral. That's how I became acquainted with you, for going off on the local level at your school board meeting.
Robert E. Lee was a brutal slave master. Not only did when he whooped the slaves, he said, lay it on them hard. After he said, lay it on them hard, he said, put brine on them so it'll burn them. That's what Robert E. Lee did. And you set your arrogant self in here and sit on there shopping while the pain and the hurt of the people of this community is on display, because you don't give a damn and you should resign. You should have resigned 2 years ago when you choked a white man in his house. You should have resigned 2 weeks ago when you got on TV and said foolishness. And you should walk out of here and resign and never come back, because you are the example of racism in this community. You are horrible. Now to the rest of the board.
What has happened since then, Gary, and how you've been able to not only run for U.S. Senate, but also advocate for the importance of being involved on the local and state level? So tell us what has been happening with you and your involvement.
Well, I ran for the U.S. Senate last year, was not victorious in that race, but learned a lot from the experience. Running as a progressive or a forward-thinking Black Democrat in the South has its own challenges, but I don't think that the policies that I stood for were the hurdle. The party is, though.
See, it's time for us to recognize that Democrats or Republicans, if you stand in the way of justice, we will stand in your face. We will call you out. We will call it as we see it. And it should not take the cavalry coming for you to recognize that we have been saying this for months.
For me, when we look at what we've tried to accomplish for Black people, what we tried to make happen in our communities, I started off as an advocate, right? A person showing up at city council meetings, school board meetings, pushing issues that were important. Like you say, push the line, making things that are small issues to some people, big issues in our community.
Every time you walk into a school in your district, no matter where it is, the majority of the children are Black. And repeatedly, Black children have to watch white people in leadership. They don't get to see a reflection of themselves, which allows them to be proud and say, you know what, I can do that too one day.
And so after running, now I have a different level of expertise and knowledge. So I launched something called Civics for the People. I'm excited to be taking that around the country and just really telling people about how do you get involved at the local level? How do you do your small part from the perspective of what I've learned? There's a lot of people who have passion, they have desire, but they don't necessarily have the knowledge.
Right.
And so that lack of knowledge is a real problem within our community, because when you don't understand the government, you either run from it or you let it misuse you.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of our community, they don't participate in the process, so they're running from it, or the government is misusing them because they're not fully understanding who they should be supporting, why they should be supporting those people, and then what they should get. What is the return on investment that you are getting off that vote that you deposited?
Yeah, where you and I align is the constant education of our people. I don't want to generalize when I say this, but I can pretty much safely say that the majority of campaigns that are ran across this country, whether it be Democrat or Republican, are white-led.
Absolutely.
Even if the candidate is Black, you have somebody who's white behind the scenes, that's a campaign manager, that's fundraising director, that's a canvas organizer, and then they'll bring us in to say, hey, tell us how to get out the Black vote.
Outreach.
Right, but then won't give us the tools that we need. So that's critically important. And so we want to make sure that we're not letting people off the hook, because if you do nothing else, you can go to that school board meeting and do like you did. And like you've always told me, because you went to that meeting, it allowed you an opportunity to be able to advocate on the national level.
For me, a zebra doesn't change its stripes and a leopard don't change its spots. Whatever somebody was or whatever they were about before they got elected, that's what they're going to be.
We go with the cliches.
If you find somebody who cared about horses, soon as somebody bring them a bill about horses, they're going to be the first one signing up for the horse bill.
That's right.
If it's somebody who was out there fighting for healthcare access and jail reform and police brutality to end, that person, when they get in office, they're going to fight for those things when they get elected.
That's right.
So when you're looking for the person who's going to run for office, look at the stripes on the zebra, look at the spots on the leopard. If they don't have spots that were fighting for you, why would you put them in office to represent you? When you see what I have done, that is years of showing up at city council meetings, at school board meetings. When I walk in the door, people know when I come in the back wall, they say, hey, you ain't here for my item today, huh? Because they don't want that smoke.
That's right.
And so when I show up with that level of commitment, not because I make noise, because I get stuff done. Because either we killing what you're trying to do or we're advancing what we're trying to do. I still live on the Black side of town in an all Black neighborhood. And so I wanted to be able to tell people that we can create safe, strong, vibrant Black communities in the Black side of town, but we can't do it without the resources that we put into the pot. Who is impacted by sales taxes the most? The people with the least. And so the people with the least are paying sales taxes to build bridges, roads, schools, but they're not happening in their neighborhood.
I know that's right. Now, just for clarity, let's run that receipt back. I want them to know what you did with that hospital.
So Earl K. Long Hospital, you can Google it, was the charity hospital of Baton Rouge. It was opened up for years. Bobby Jindal was the governor who ran for president a few years ago of Louisiana. He shut down all of those charity hospital systems in our state, privatized our healthcare system, tore a hospital down that was 2 miles from my parents' house.
The Earl K. Long Hospital is coming down piece by piece. Officials say it'll take about 2 more weeks before the whole thing's nothing more than a pile of rubble.
Legislators were whining on TV about, oh, woe is me. Well, we met with the executives at the hospital. They told me you don't need an ER in North Baton Rouge. It's a myth. I said, okay, well, we believe we want an emergency room. So they said, well, go get it. Well, we went out, built a plan, found people who would help us in this process, took that plan and pitched it to the governor. They didn't pick our vendor. They forced the state vendor to open up an emergency room, and not even a mile from where they tore down the hospital, there's an emergency room in my parents' community.
I heard that. Well, y'all heard that receipt. I just wanted to run that receipt back so you could know why I had to have him bid
$10 million investment.
Did y'all hear that? He said $10 million investment. You hear I slid it in? I wanted to put that receipt on the record, y'all. And joining us is the founder of the conservative commentary blog, Did She Say That? And the host of Sonnie's Corner on Sirius XM. Let me welcome my sister, conservative Sonnie Johnson.
I appreciate it. I know we're about to have fire conversation, so I'm here for it.
One thing that you and I have always been consistent on is making sure that the party that we lean closest to, whether that be the Democrat or the Republican Party, that we've always remained true to who we are and called things out for what it is. You've taken a lot of slack in the Republican movement for calling out Republicans. I've taken slack for calling out Democrats. Gary definitely done took some slack for calling out Democrats. I wanted you here because, number one, there is a difference between a conservative and a Republican. And there's also a difference between the conservatives, the Black conservatives that we typically see. Explain what is Black conservative to you.
Well, Black conservatism to me starts with three basic principles that we try to uphold. And that is the idea of the individual, the idea of the republic, and the idea of the Constitution. Those things work in concert and in order. So first and foremost, you have to be responsible for yourself. You have to be responsible for your household. You have to be responsible for your marriage, relationship, your family. After those obligations are met, then you have the obligation to go out and be a steward within your community. And then all of those things are basically protected by the document that is the Constitution that verifies the first 10 things that government cannot do to you. So if you take those basic three things together, that's the underlying core of what we look at as Black conservatism, even though we are ostracized by those on the right who claim they believe in the exact same principles.
Yeah, over 90% of Black people vote for the Democrat Party. And I always try to make it very clear when we're talking about voting and ideology, those are two separate things, as you guys know.
I think when you look at the issues that are social, the things that impact our lives as a society, the Democratic Party has marketed itself, let me be clear, marketed itself as the place for everybody. Most Black people were Republicans until the Civil Rights and Voting Rights Act. We know history, Black people became Democrats around the 60s. Kennedy first, then Johnson was president. And when the Voting Rights and Civil Rights Acts was passed, because that was the party who did something for Black folks at the time. The thing that I believe that we as Black people should always be doing is a constant assessment of the party, be it Democrat, Republican Party, to ensure that at the time, the party is serving our needs.
And so Gary mentioned, Sonnie, that people lean Democrat because of the social issues. And I know Gary and I agree that Democrats do a terrible job of talking about the economic positioning of Black people, which is something that you and I agree with when I say conservatives seem to, do a better job of speaking to people's pockets. But Black people feel excluded from that party. Tell us why. Why is it that when people think of a Republican or a conservative, they think of a white male first? Why is it that they're not thinking of you?
Because it's the truth. And we can't run from that. We can't hide from that. We can't pretend or make excuses for it, right? If you start looking at why Black people started the Republican Party in the first place, it happened in the 90s, in the 1890s. And that's when the Republican Party went lily white, when they went actively starting to throw Black people out of the party. They pushed people out of positions of leadership within both the state and the federal party apparatus. So even though they love harping back to a time of the party of Lincoln where they were in sync with Black America, and we had one goal in mind. As soon as that war was over and that fight stopped, they went about making sure we did not have a place in the Republican Party. What they have done instead is co-opted a league of Black faces, a stable of Black faces that go around and regurgitating their talking points with no actual connection to the Black community. They have no connection to our history. They have no connection to our culture. They have no connection to our faith. And that's why you often find them in opposition to everything that Black people stand for and that are at the heart and the crux of what we believe and why we fight, why we do what we do.
So if somebody were to ask you, Sonnie, why are you a part of a party that that is not welcoming to you?
First and foremost, I'm not a Republican. I am a Black conservative. I stick closely to my ideology, not to a political party apparatus. And the second part I would say to that is if you want to take on a Goliath in some of these areas where Democrats have run for 60 to 100 years and have total control of every single apparatus, sending a lone individual or a small group in to try to take on this machine is not going to work. And the good thing is, for most Black areas, there is no Republican Party because the Republican Party refuses to come to our communities. It refuses to be a part of the fabric of who and what we are. But that leaves us an opportunity because that means that these Republican Party branches are wide open. And with all of the knowledge that Black Republicans have garnered over the year and the networks that we have, we are really now looking at the ability that we are in a position to actually provide the Black community with a choice. And that is the first step. Does that mean we won't have to fight the Republican Party? No, we have to fight them. We have to fight them every step of the way. But I think I've shown that I'm willing to do that.
Coming up, how do two differing ideologies affect how we tackle issues like gun safety and police violence? We'll unpack it from both sides when we come back.
When you have these protesters go out, they say, hands up, don't shoot, right? When we go out, we're armed. You know what the police say? They look at us and they say, it's not worth it.
All right. So there's that. We're going to remove this for a second. So what did y'all think about that so far? I want to get to the show. Where is... I need the debate. This is just them introducing themselves. Come on, let's get to the show. Jesus. Oh, Lord. Kids. All right. Wow, nobody has an opinion? I'm surprised y'all not saying nothing. I know there's only like 19 people in here, but goddamn, come on. Finally, Vincent Taylor, hello. It's all right, but I want to hear about the issues. Black Light Revelations, what's up? PD Chicago, what's up? Yo, kid, do you know what happened to Mouthy Megan? She had her kid, so I'm guessing she's taking time out to make sure the young scholar is adjusting to the new world. So I'm sure she'll be back sooner than later. Greets, hello. You said I only gathered so much from that, but my stance is no tangibles, no vote. As well it should be. I want to get to the show. Let's get to the show. I want to hear how these two are going to interact with each other. Let's get to the show. Don't make me regret doing this because I'm probably going to get a copyright on this, which is fine. I'm not monetizing it, but I wanted to bring this to the family. Oh, Oh, programming note. Thursday morning, I will stream the presidential debate. They're back. We will, I mean, not stream it, but I'll play it and we'll review it. But they're back. Let's get back.
Let's get to the 10. Let's talk about ideology. I want family to be able to hear, the differences on why you think for Black Americans, a conservative ideology is more beneficial, where Gary said that he believes that it's liberal.
This is one of the reasons why I value you so much over the years, Tezlyn, is that I've always felt completely comfortable being able to focus on the right because I understood people like you were focusing on the left. So I think the most important issue to me is the idea of the individual. So when you are looking at us and how we conceptualize opportunity, how we conceptualize success, we each have a different definition of what that looks like. So you have those that are out there hustling towards the $1 billion bag, and you also have those people who will be just as happy if they're able to own a house and send their kids to college and be able to manage that. You should be able to manifest the dream you want to see happen in your life. Then those become the kind of assets that you are able to bring to society.
We understand that self-preservation is typically, how people move. But Gary, you look at collective and how important the collective is.
I think that is exactly a part of the issue with us within the Black community, is that this individualistic mindset, going after building for my own family, my own wealth, that is a individual conqueror's mindset. That's not a village or nation building mindset. For me, if we are going to look at all of the issues that we face as a Black community as a whole, that we have to look at the collective. And the way we can show that is we have Black wealth. We have a few Black billionaires. We have a bunch of Black millionaires. It has not addressed the issues within the Black community by getting a few Black people to become wealthy, because what a society that is functioning does well is address the health and welfare of the needs of its citizens, right?
I get this from how I grew up and understanding so many people who made so many sacrifices for us, and then they turn around and actually have nothing, and the entire time they were just pushing us to have more. So if we start looking at the things that were given up, that were sacrificed for us to be able to have better, we've always had more than enough to get us where we needed to go. We just need to make sure we are prioritizing those issues first. And that comes from each individual doing their first part on the individual status. Then we can come together with voluntary association to build a community out.
Yeah, and let's get to the real conversation. I think we had about a 4.
Y'all
sound real good, but let's turn it up and get to Tez on 10.
I love the fact that
Nice girl, hello.
The Constitution did not
I guess
consider
they
us
taped
all
this
in its beginning, in its inception.
days
It did
ago,
not consider women.
but it's
It did not
premiering
consider
tonight,
Black
so I
people
just
as
said, hey.
full citizens. And so when you base your
Hello, by
beliefs
the way.
of
Mike
political ideology
Jones, hello.
on a document,
Yes, this is on
then we need to
Revo.
consider your humanity as a woman or
Yes,
as
wanna
a
get in
Black
the cooking
person.
stream?
For me, it is about how do we take
Maybe
the
Monday,
Constitution,
we'll
which I
see.
believe should
Maybe
be a
Monday.
living, breathing document, and evolve it into something that is a true document that embraces all of America, Black folks, white folks, gay folks, and everybody in between. But for me specifically, I'm Black first. Before my mom and daddy knew I was going to be a boy, before they knew anything else, before I picked my faith, I was born Black. My mama was Black. My daddy was Black. They knew he's going to be a Black baby. So before I make any other decision in this world, I make the decisions based on the premise of my Blackness. And the only place that I have found where we have been able to stand in that Blackness and demand more is the Democratic Party right now. And is the Democratic Party flawed? Absolutely. Absolutely. It is jacked up from the top to the bottom. But it's the place that more Black people can get at the table and have a real argument with folks, whether they agree with me or not. You need me. In the Republican Party, we arguing with folks who don't even come, like Sonnie said, they don't even come to our neighborhood. They don't even knock on our door. Why would I give my vote to somebody who didn't even come and ask me for it?
What's wrong with liberals, Sonnie? And then Gary's gonna tell you why he disagrees with your position. Let's go.
Well, I agree with that idea. Why would you give your vote to someone who didn't ask you for it? But let me get back to the idea of the Constitution, right? So yes, you had a Constitution, a founding document that was basically made for only white men. And in that Constitution, white men put the rules in place that they thought would best protect those white men. So let's 100% be honest about that. That's what it is. But guess what? If you think that it is hard in America now for Black people under the Constitution, imagine how hard it would be for us without one. I will not excuse what we did to make sure we are included. And that needs to be highly respected as well.
I think that we definitely do acknowledge what we have done to get here. We have advanced in spite of the Constitution, not because of the Constitution, though. I think that we as Black people
then
have
you
made...
will have no civil rights era. You will have no civil rights era.
Because America wrote a jacked up Constitution is why we had a civil rights era.
The civil rights era was won through constitutional challenge.
We would not have had a civil rights era, though, if it was not for a flawed Constitution. Which is why I believe that the Constitution has to be a living, breathing document, which is a part of what my argument was that you're validating in some ways, because everything that America has ever done to advance itself has happened because there's been a contingency of people who pushed against the Constitution to say, no, there has to be room for more people at the table. Every time America has advanced, it is because the people who were disenfranchised from that document have said, no, America will be better. And those people organized and made the Constitution become a better document, because the white men who wrote a flawed document to benefit themselves, and the American people, specifically Black people, indigenous people, brown people who were marginalized and ostracized, are the people who made this nation bend the moral arc towards justice. And so for me to join into a party who is consistently restricting the rights of people, even today, how should those people be people that I trust or work with in any way to preserve a Constitution that they are and be mindful that the people in the conservative party, many of them are originalists. When you hear an originalist in a Republican talk about being an originalist, they are saying that we are from the original form or the original written version of the document that is called the Constitution. So we have appointed people to the Supreme Court who are originalists in their belief about the Constitution. So it doesn't matter how many amendments you made to it. These SOBs believe that the original version was the version that was the best.
So I will say that the Republican Party deserves this line of criticism that they have. Their refusal to have a presence in or protect the constitutional rights of Black America has led to this point where you have a Black America that is very skeptical about what this document stands for. But what we are talking about under Black conservatism, again, is not steeped in what white people did. Understand the criticism, but there's also a strange right through Black America that explains our ideology.
The issue is the disproportionality of violence that is being inflicted upon Black bodies at the hands of the police state.
There's more Tez on 10 after the break.
All right, what did y'all think about that? Let me go Cardenas. Hello. What is this debate for? Tezlyn brought on Gary Chambers. We all know who Gary Chambers is if you're familiar with TVA, and brought on Sonnie Johnson, who is a conservative, and I've talked about her on this channel. They wanted to talk about the Black vote since today is election day in some states. So they want to see a year out how each party or each ideology is going to court the Black vote. Yeah. Oh, we know Black light. We know. But again, I'm taking this with a grain of salt. I fuck with Tezlyn heavy, but I also understand she's doing this on Revolt TV. And we know Revolt is not Black owned. We know this. So I'm taking this as a grain of salt, but I figured since we have people online that say we shouldn't take information given to us a year away from an election seriously, I'm going to make sure to bring everything to everybody, because I don't want nobody coming back to me November 5th, 2024, telling me that, oh, they voted for this person and they didn't win because we didn't give them the correct information. Bullshit. Y'all not finna come after me. Nope. Because I will say this to you.
It's a round. It's a rap for you round. And a rap for your round. I'll let a round rap around every rap around till it's rap around. This rap around. I'll rap around a round rap. I'll let a round rap around. How you gonna get around that?
You said if Tez and Sonnie talked about what they demand from both parties, I think the conversation may be more productive. You know what's funny? Sonnie's be saying this shit in her Twitter spaces, but I don't know. Maybe she'll say it once we get into the next part. Maybe she'll finally get after it. Because we already know reparations for the cousins. We need the anti-hate legislation for the rest of the black folks, including the cousins. Number one. There has to be competitiveness in the capitalistic market because we know capitalism ain't going away. We know this. And there has to be a law on the books that says that if these cops keep killing us, we get to attack them financially. And I think we could also add direct cash payments to black businesses. I think we can add that to it. Might as well go for the gusto. Might as well. I say direct black businesses should not have to pay for a year. They should be able to get a grant saying that their business does not have to pay rent for a year or a mortgage for a year, so they can at least establish a profit. Would be nice. Well, it's just things I'm been thinking out loud. You said if we get an FBA hate crime bill, we also need FBA hate crime enforcement task force because you can't trust criminal justice to do anything other than justice. Well, maybe that's where the neighborhood watch comes in. You hire FBA lawyers and social workers, and you let them deal with the cops. Let them be the buffer for the neighborhood. I think that would work, but you know, the rest of the diaspora get mad, but we don't care. Oh, they're about to come back. Here we go.
I will lead a revolution.
Oh, Lord have mercy. This is how you come back out of the break? Tim Scott? Oh, Lord.
And more.
I'm still waiting for Tim Scott to drop out.
Working peoples, both parties tied, Wall Street, militarism, Pentagon, tied to Silicon Valley. What about the 60% of precious Americans of all colors who are struggling every day?
Welcome back. There is a conversation that we've been hearing, particularly since 2016, even 2020, that more black men are becoming more attracted to the Republican Party or to conservatism based upon, let's just put it on the table, based upon LGBT issues or the ideology of woke. What's too woke? We do want to put the facts out there that black men still overwhelmingly vote for the Democrat Party. Why are they becoming more attracted to the conservative movement or to the Republican Party?
I think that the question is, why are Democrats doing such a poor job working with the highest male demographic that is in support of their party? I think that when we look at where black men are and the conversation around economics and putting money in our pockets, when you look at a young black man that's trying to build a family, he's trying to figure out, how do I get more money, more resources into my family? Democrats are not having that conversation, and they're not making it plain. Democrats are spending a lot of time talking about taxing the rich. Well, if I'm a young black person and I want to be wealthy, and all I hear people talk about is tax the rich in order to make things work, then I don't know if I'm going to jump to that. Or if I'm a person who has acquired a certain level of wealth as a black person, and I'm attempting to protect that wealth. Democrats are doing a terrible
conservative
job.
talking point. I see you stole that from
there are millionaires that are Democrats.
what them black men did in Atlanta with Kemp. I see you stole that.
The operations of the Democratic
I
Party
guess
that
everything's
are,
fair game on
believing in these
I-20.
liberal
I guess
policies and things of that nature, but the party is doing a terrible job communicating about the entrepreneurs that are part of the Democratic Party and how the Democratic Party is helping small businesses grow. You listen to conservatives talk about small business, they act like they're the champion of small businesses when we all know that that's a lie. Conservatives are not helping small businesses grow. If you look at where I'm from, Louisiana, the 50th ranked state in the nation, we have a majority Republican legislature, and their policies, which are supposed to be pro-economy, are actually what lead us to the 49th ranked economy in the nation, right? And so, and you look at the states that have the most prosperous and booming economies. 7 of the top 10 economies that are prosperous in this country are led by Democrat legislatures or Democrat governors. The most explosive growth is in liberal-leaning states.
Give us an example on liberal-leaning state, because I want to unpack, because I know Sonnie is sitting up.
The state of Washington, the state of Colorado, the state of Maryland. We're talking about policies that
State
impact
Maryland's
the
about to
entire
go
state.
to
The
hell.
conservatives
I
are talking
wouldn't
about
use
it
them.
better. Therefore, they're pinching off people who are looking for somebody to talk to them.
Sonnie, you think these liberal states, these facts that he just laid out are better for economics?
To me, this is not about talking about whether or not Democrat or Republican. It is talking about whether these policies are uplifting Black people. That metric by which you wanted to have, in this sense, I am saying, let's look at the collective. The vast majority of all Black communities are in Democrat-controlled areas. So you have these areas that have been under Democratic control for decades.
That's a false
premise. There's no
That's a
Republicans.
false
I even
premise.
said this at the beginning.
Well,
the Republicans don't care enough to actually come to our community.
Well, hold on, Sonnie.
The Republicans are in our communities putting policies
Hold on, Sonnie.
out.
Hold on, Sonnie, because I want to unpack. I want Gary to respond just to rebut the economic
Because
thing.
when you talk about a city versus a state, right?
Two different
That's saying when you say that Richmond.
No, I know, and you specifically did that on purpose. I get why you did that on purpose.
I went to
but
state.
Even if you look at us in a collective,
No.
Collective,
You cut me off and
Hold on, wait, Sonnie. Hold on, wait, Sonnie. Hold on, Sonnie, wait.
Like when you separate places like Maryland and look at Black wealth in Maryland, that is not looking at the fact that that area is so close to Washington D.C. that government money is what gives that increase of wealth in those areas. And
it doesn't matter what the justification
of those Black areas in Maryland where that wealth exists, you will see extreme Black poverty.
Okay, well,
so that's what my husband's family is from.
We can say the same
hold
thing.
on, Sonnie. Wait. Reset. Hold on, Sonnie.
But I would say
Sonnie, you wilding for respect right now. Calm down.
Sis. I would say the same thing about Red City.
Hello, sis. Hold on. I just want to make sure it's okay. This is what we do. But I do want to hear Gary's full thought on that, because I hear what Sonnie's saying, and she's basically saying if we're gonna talk about the collective. We can't just talk about how the state does well and then forget about the democratic cities in these states that are doing very poor. So respond back to that.
You can't tell me about the mayor of Richmond or the mayor of Baton Rouge or the mayor of New Orleans or Atlanta without telling me about the governor of every one of those states, because the city pot of money in comparison to the state pot of money, two totally different. Every city ordinance has to be in line with the state constitution. So any city that writes a law or
you can't use Atlanta, bro.
The state constitution,
you can't use Atlanta.
It doesn't matter how liberal your council is or how great your mayor is. If the state government can come back in and
my
check,
God, you can't use Atlanta.
If the mayor of Atlanta decides that they want to do something right now, the mayor of Atlanta is doing all these great things around housing, $200 million that they raised money for to help address some of the housing issues here. How much is the state of Georgia putting
they're
towards that
gentrifying Bankhead. What are you talking?
That's a real question. When we talk about Brian Kemp, who pinched off a piece of Black vote in the state of Georgia away from Stacey Abrams to get there, the mayor of Atlanta got $200 million to help address the housing crisis. How much did the governor do? And the governor has a far larger budget than the mayor of Atlanta. We should not be blaming
I'm gonna
Black
cook him when
Black
he's
city
finished.
council members who don't have the tools and the resources at their disposal that the state legislature and the federal government do. We are asking people at the lowest level of the totem pole to solve the biggest problems, and that is a contradiction. And Republicans and conservatives know this. Conservatives control the state legislature of Alabama. Conservatives control the state legislature of Louisiana.
How do you know they're
Control
conservative?
the state legislature of Georgia, and each one of those states are failing.
How do you know?
And when we talk about Black people who have gone to the north, we built Detroit.
I'm gonna kick him.
Built St. Louis. We built LA, and that's the ingenuity, the brilliance, and the talent of Black people that went into those cities for the opportunities.
And they're
that
not
existed to
liberal,
them,
sir.
and the ability to live out a free life without being
They're not
killed
liberals.
and slaughtered by white folks at the hands of racism in this country. That's why we went there, understanding that there has never been a moment for us to build Black political mass to take over state government. We have had
I'm gonna cook
Black
him.
people elected for Black people to serve as governors.
And Westmore is gonna
History of
destroy
this nation.
Maryland
When
in
you put
4
that into
years.
perspective,
You just wait.
understanding that 4 people have run a state legislature that look like you or I in the history of this nation. We have never
And
seen
they're
Black
all
people with the
gone,
opportunity
except
to really
Westmore.
lead in
So
this
what are you
nation.
saying?
So when you talk about conservative values, the Democrats, the Republicans, the conservatives, none of them want Black folks in charge, because that's the only way we're gonna really get equity in this country, when you have Black leadership.
Wait a minute.
Oh, what about the illegal aliens in Chicago?
Like, why do we need black leadership if it doesn't matter?
I never said black leadership didn't matter.
That was your entire point, right? These black people that are at the local level, you can't blame them. You can't hold them accountable. You can't say to them, you came in and promised us X, Y, and Z, and now instead of saying you should not have promised us
No. That's not what I said.
Now you want to tell us why X, Y, and Z.
You're conflating two different things,
bro.
The second part of what I said was most important, that laid between the idea of the
literally showed black mayors and then went in on the white legislature. What the fuck?
And that is the idea that the government that is closest to the people has the most amount of power over the people. Now, if you look at that in a sense of who controls our police departments, who controls the planning commissions, who controls a lot of these lower city
qualified immunity. Who decides on qualified immunity? Is it the
that's federal? Don't do that. That's federal. Don't do that.
Police officers being no. You made a no. I'm not gonna let you make that point.
Wait.
You made a point, and I have to address it. You support qualified immunity, which allows a cop to kill a black person and get away with murder without being absolved by the government. And who has the ability to approve qualified immunity?
Oh, she's
with you in standing against qualified immunity.
So can a city council end qualified immunity?
No.
If they're gonna keep telling you
no.
At the local
they can't.
level,
that has to go to the state. No.
These spaces do not matter, cannot be held accountable. Then why you keep worrying about putting black people in these
That
spaces?
ain't what I said.
Clarification, Sonnie is in support of ending qualified immunity. Let Gary clarify what he meant when you said, does it matter to have the leadership, black leadership on the local level? And what did that mean? Clarify.
It absolutely matters to have black leadership. I said we cannot blame black leadership at the local level when they have the least amount of power in this equation. The state has more power than a local city council or a local mayor.
You hear this guy?
Oversee these
I'm
issues.
going to
yes,
cook
a mayor
him.
Picks the chief of police. Yes, a mayor oversees the police department. Who sets up qualified immunity to hold a cop accountable when they kill us?
Mm-hmm.
It is the state legislature. It is the state legislature. And there is
he
not
just
a majority black
absorbed,
state
man.
legislature anywhere
Please
in
go
America.
to commercial.
It never has been.
So what I think Gary is saying is the tools that they have, and we don't have no problem holding Democrats accountable, just by the way. Just
how do you sound right now?
Yeah, we're not talking about Democrats.
I'm talking about black people in leadership and the ability for us to advance.
Sir, black people are in leadership and they're fucking us over. What are you talking about?
At a state level, Democrat or Republican, as black folk. When we were Republicans and we elected a bunch of black folks, we never had the majority. We got to parity during Reconstruction. Mm-hmm. We never got to the majority. And we were Republicans then. Now we are Democrats. There's not a place in this country where black people have become the majority. I've been talking about a new black South for the last 8-9 years because the only way black people in America are ever going to see true equity and justice
cook him when he
black folks that move to Detroit,
go to commercial,
and New York and Newark and all of these places come back to the South and we get critical mass. Louisiana's 33%, 34. Louisiana's 34%.
Economic boom houses that you just mentioned.
Because we need to be willing to build something. Because
now you want them to go to the South.
Why would black people leave? Which is a great question. Why would they leave out of those great economic places where they're doing well with their families? Why would they leave and come back to the South?
She already said they're leaving because there's a ton of them leaving because of the affordability issues, and we understand that.
It's not helping in Atlanta. Houses are over $400,000, sir. Average is like $3 something.
That is lasting. The same way after Reconstruction, when we had nothing, we built black institutions. We built black hospitals. We built black community centers. We built all of the things that we have. Howard Hospital exists because black people came together and said, we need an education for our children. Southern University.
They're not giving us the money to do it.
Said that they wanted to have a place to educate themselves. We need to get back in the business of building something that is lasting for us.
You
and the
bastard.
only place that black people can get critical mass to the South. Again, to my point, Mississippi is 37% black. Louisiana's 34% black. Georgia's 33% black. If a pinch of our cousins leave Detroit, LA, San Francisco,
that
and
means
all these
nothing.
And come back to the South and commit to building this system, then we can have the future that we desire and the individualism that you talk about, and all of those things is possible, but it's possible in a safety net of black leadership.
That's what energizes me. I don't.
Okay. I gotta cook this motherfucker. This motherfucker is stupid. Yes, Torian, and hello. I did see that on Cameron Law, so I did that. I announced that after the first commercial break. This Gary Chambers is an idiot. Real talk. He's dumb. Sir, you basically just sat in front of Tezlyn and Sonnie Johnson and absolved the black mayors in this country who have literally been in power for a year and sold out black folks. Literally. Eric Adams sold out black folks in New York. Now he's trying to pivot course. Brandon Johnson sold out black folks in Chicago. They're revolting on him now. Karen Bass is trying to keep herself quiet. She sold out black folks there. Miss Major, hello. They were looking for you on Twitter. They thought you got suspended. You might want to go over there and tell them you're all right. Oh my God. He's not, because he got his ass kicked. Now he trying to talk like the grassroots. Here it is. Okay. Atlanta's not affordable. Gary Chambers. Maybe you don't know. Back in March, Buckhead tried to leave. The legislature said, no, you're not leaving because we need your tax money. Atlanta's not affordable, sir. Which is why, maybe you don't know this, but a lot of people that live in Fulton County are leaving Fulton County and going to the other outlying counties because it's a little bit cheaper. You know where the biggest boom is? Oh, y'all are going to love this. You know where the biggest boom is happening? The same county that has Lake Lanier, Gainesville. Look it up if you think I'm lying. Gainesville is one of the top 5 cities in this country right now that is booming in terms of population growth. Look it up if you think I'm lying. Gary Chambers, I don't know what you're talking about. Andre Dickens, he got $200 million. You're correct. He is gentrifying Bankhead right now. College Park is getting gentrified right now. So is East Point. Maybe you didn't know that. All the little districts around here. It's looking like New York now. Maybe you didn't know that. New York's average rent right now, y'all are going to be shocked. Average median rent is about $35.95, $3,600, we'll call it. That's just for a studio. You can go look this up. $3,600 for a studio apartment in New York City. Oh shit, it's back. Wait, no, it's not. Not yet. Huh? Doing nothing. You brought up Stacey Abrams. Sir, Stacey Abrams killed her own campaign. Brian Kemp didn't have to do much. All he had to do was go on his 4-year record. Oh shit, it's back. I think. No, not yet. Yeah, he just had to go sell his record. Stacey Abrams spent the better part of 2 years lying, and we saw through it. Wait, it's back.
So I think we have an understanding, if nothing else, whether we agree or not. There seems to be a.
Hey, I'm for black building.
And I want to be able to debate Sonnie.
I'm for black equity. If that's where we going and we building black institutions, we'll be building right beside each other.
Right. And to me, Tezlyn, let me say this. To me, this is the beauty. To have a black conservative and a black liberal to be able to debate each other on the premises of what we believe. And that's what our state legislatures will look like. Rather than debating with somebody who I know don't care about my humanity. The one thing I do recognize in this conversation with Sonnie, we can disagree on all of the meat and potatoes of it, but I don't feel that this sister does not see my humanity. And that is a different place when we start talking about how do we move policy forward. I can hear her because she cares about my blackness. The white conservatives don't care about my blackness. They won't have a colorblind society. If God wanted us to all be colorblind, why'd he make us so beautifully different?
Yeah. And that's why I had to have this conversation with Sonnie, because there's no doubt Sonnie is always Black first. And I wish, more people in the movement, not just conservative, but period. I'm always telling people, if you want to hear a conservative perspective, go listen to Sonnie. But I think the main difference in approach, not even necessarily disagreeing, but different approaches. Do we take care of self first, which is usually what folks do, self-preservation? That's just the natural thing. Or do we spend time focusing on the collective, and how much of a sacrifice do we spend on the collective? Because there's no doubt that Sonnie spends a whole bunch of her time, probably way too much. I'm sure her husband and child would agree that she spends a whole lot of time focused on the collective. So I want to make sure that the viewer hears that although she's talking about individualism, she is one of those ones that makes the sacrifice like we do. I've been telling folks that we've been building Tez on 10. I'm an organizer first, not an interviewer, not a host, not a media. I'm an organizer first. And so we spend a lot of time focused on the collective, and we understand that not everybody's going to do that.
That's right.
And so I think what Gary is saying is there needs to be more of us that are willing to make that sacrifice to build the collective. Maybe some need to move down south. Maybe some need to stay where Sonnie's at, where the schools are better, the economics is better, because Sonnie can't do a good job if she broke. If she can't take care of her family, she can't do a good job. It's not for everybody. But I do think, as we wrap it up, we need people on all sides of the table, whether it is Democrat, Republican, conservative, liberals, progressive. But I think what we found out here is we need these voices, and we need this conversation, and we need Revolt to have it. This is a conversation that I don't think can be had necessarily on some other outlets, because again, it's not coming from a premise of love for ourselves and love for our people. I want to thank you, Sonnie, so much for joining me. And I knew I had to have you on, sis. And thank you for all that you do.
I'm looking forward to debating the group brother more. I like when my passions get ignited. I like when I start feeling saucy and a little bit.
No, what you need to do is let people talk
Shout out
a
to
little
you,
bit.
brother.
Let's do it.
Keep the
Me,
argument
your
going.
to the space, you
Yeah,
can talk as
do it. It
long
was
as
a
you want,
pleasure,
but
my
you on
sister.
a
All
forum.
right, family. You
need
could have
to
been
let
anywhere in the world, but you chose to
Sonnie,
hang
you
out
need
with
to
your
do it.
girl.
Hey, Tezlyn,
That's
you
a
need to
wrap.
do
Remember to
this
stay
like
connected
the
with us
regular
on Facebook,
debates.
Twitter, Revolt
All right,
on
enough of
YouTube,
that. Yeah, we about done with that. We about done with that. All right, there that is. Yeah. So yeah, they talked about old Gainesville, Georgia back last year. This was one of the areas of the city in the area that was looking at a population boom, mostly white people, because it was away from the city, but you still had that. You're close enough to the city, but you had that small town way of living. But I just love how he sat up there. I still can't get over the fact he sat up there and said that because there's black mayors who are their governors. I still can't get over that. Like, you can't be serious. We keep telling y'all about these black faces in high places. It means nothing. Hell, I think Philadelphia just got a black female mayor. I could be wrong. Some black woman just won a mayoral race. I think it was in Philly. I might be wrong. Yeah, it was Philly. There you go, Philly. Democrat Sherelle Parker has been elected as Philly's 100th mayor, first woman to hold the office. What that mean? Is she gonna clean Philly up? I ain't gonna hold you, family. She looked like some more if she was 60. You know who she looked like? She looked like some more, and DeMond Wilson did the fusion dance. I ain't even gonna hold you. She got me curious. Let me see what she about. I want to see what her platform is. Because I'll admit, I was not watching the Philly race. Curious about what her platform is. So she is 51. All right, let's see. The right voice and the right choice. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let's see the issues. God, dog. Parker plan for safety. Parker plan for education. Parker plan for cleaning, greening Philadelphia. Parker plan for creating economic opportunity. Okay. Let's see. 17.53 an hour minimum wage tied to the rate of inflation. Soft skills training for people entering the workforce. Business friendly environment to encourage employers to locate to Philadelphia. You're gonna have to get that crime down a little bit first. Schools that teach to needed jobs and better prepare kids for college. Schools open from 7:30 to 6 p.m. so parents can get to work without worrying about before and after school care. Double the number of diverse businesses and the number of small businesses in Philadelphia. Oh, so you admit it's none but white, none but Irish and Italian and Russian businesses in Philadelphia. Oh, and the growing Puerto Ricans, but okay. Supporting small businesses and entrepreneurs with free business training. So you're going to jump the minimum wage from 7.25 to 17.53. Okay. I don't see nothing about helping black folks. I see nothing. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see why she won. I see why she won. Another black face in a high place. Issue safety. Oh, Lord. She's with the police. Okay. Oh, hey, all you people that said that they defunded the police. Look at this. Filling current vacancies within the police department, addressing other personnel challenges, include rehiring retired police officers and hiring civilians to fill administrative roles to get sworn officers back on the streets. Yeah. Yeah. I thought they defunded the police. Doesn't look like they were defunded. Yeah. Okay. But yes, Daniel Cameron won. So we must send him off correctly.
Don't be a victim if woulda, coulda was with him. If woulda, coulda was with him, he woulda, coulda continued living.
Hey, maybe the white woman can console you tonight. Maybe she can console you tonight. She should put you, after you get the shower, you guys get home, you thank everybody for a hard fought election race. She lays you down in bed. I bet you this is what she's going to tell you in your ear.
What I want to say is, one of my niggas bring 2 niggas. Then 2 niggas go get 3. 2 niggas bring 4 niggas. Then 4 niggas come back and alert me. 2 niggas bring 3 niggas. And 3 niggas bring 4. 4 niggas bring 5 niggas, and 5 niggas bring more.
And, he'll feel better in the morning. Yeah. I just wanted to see when Sheila Jerk Chicken Jackass Lee loses. That's what I'm looking for. I'm just trying to see them call Houston for Whitmore. That's what I'm calling for. There's a runoff? Huh? Say what? You can't be serious. Y'all can't be serious. Y'all have to go to a runoff? Y'all can't be serious. Huh? Early returns in the Houston mayor's race has State Senator John Whitmire. I don't know why I said Whitmore. John Whitmire taking the lead against Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee for a probable upcoming runoff in December. Whitmire was leading with 59,697 votes, or roughly 43% of the expected total votes. Jackson Lee felt slightly behind with 48,548, or about 36% of the expected vote. How the hell is that slightly behind? That's 7 points away. Who wrote this? Wait, y'all can't even see it. My bad. Who wrote this? How is 7 points behind slightly? How? Okay. Several political organizations have already planned mayoral forums for the two candidates to have an opportunity to debate more in depth before the race's final outcome. In the city controller race, former Harris County Clerk Chris Hollins was holding on to a strong lead. In early returns, he collected nearly half the votes cast by Harris County early voters with 57,903. I'm still trying to understand how the hell you're going to a runoff. So y'all are just throwing that shit out there. Okay, that was at 9:45, so that was like almost an hour and a half ago. I don't know. That's okay.
Election trickling in tonight.
Voters in the Houston area deciding races across the city as well as state constitutional amendments.
Ballots starting to come in at the 6 designated rally sites where Harris County votes will be counted. You're looking at video of the very first batch of ballots arriving at the George H.W. Bush Community Center up in Spring.
We're not only monitoring Harris County, this is a live look at vote counting in Fort Bend, Montgomery, Brazoria, and Galveston counties. Let's get to some of the election results now that have come in so far. For Houston Mayor, John Whitmire and Sheila Jackson Lee with the most votes here. Whitmire leading with 43% of the vote. Of course, this is mostly early voting numbers. He'll need to capture at least 50% of the vote to win outright tonight.
Now to the race for Houston Controller, which is the city's chief financial officer. And you can see here, Chris Hollins, the lawyer, is leading former city council member Orlando Sanchez by a hefty margin, at least in the early voting results.
Another hot race, Houston City Council District G. High-profile attorney Tony Busby running against incumbent Mary Nan Huffman. She leads this race right now with 51%. We'll see if she can maintain it. District G spans most of West Houston and includes River Oaks and Memorial.
Now let's get Fort Bend County, where voters are deciding on one of the largest bonds in that county's history. Proposition A, a nearly $713 million bond. It would go towards mobility projects like public roads. And right now, voters are approving that bond by an overwhelming margin.
Now to State Proposition 4. Texans voted to approve the constitutional amendment, which will increase the homestead tax exemption and provide property tax relief. That's according to the Associated Press projections.
We'll continue to monitor the results as they come in. Find the very latest at khou.com.
Much more to come. We'll see you.
Interesting. Daniel Cameron lost. Let's go, baby. Oh, beautiful. 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 Well, Virginia lost the Senate and Kentucky lost the governor race. So expect to hear Fox News lose their mind in the morning. I still don't understand how that Houston race is going to a runoff. I don't understand. That's crazy. Ugh. Let me see. Well, they still have 130,000. We'll probably find out tomorrow. Hey, y'all want to laugh at Daniel Cameron? Let's laugh at Daniel Cameron, shall we? Let's see if he did a concession speech, or we want to laugh at it real fast. Let's see. Media, let's see. Oh, Lord. So, oh, he does have a speech. Yay. Who wants to hear it? Fair use.
And as I called the governor to congratulate him, I know from his perspective and from all of our perspectives that we all want the same thing for our future generations. We want a better Commonwealth, one in which it can ultimately be a shining city on a hill, a model and example for the rest of the nation to follow. And so, as I did with Governor Beshear, I want all of us to think about what these next few decades will look like. And I ask that you pray for Governor Beshear and his team and for all of our Commonwealth. Because at the end of the day, win, lose, or draw, what ultimately matters is that we know that Christ is on the throne.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh, Lord have mercy. He done went to
Again,
God.
this was about future generations. And as I called the governor,
he done got his Obama on. Oh, Lord. Okay. Yeah, F you. Yeah, we finna play you out correctly, sir. So we're gonna play you out correctly. Yeah, we're gonna play you out correctly. And then we're gonna play you out as only Kid Gravity can.
It's a round. It's a rap for you round. And a rap for your round. I'll let a round rap around every rap around till it's rap around. This rap around. I'll rap around a round rap. I'll let a round rap around round. How you gonna get around that?
Huh. Well, sucks to be you. Listen, look at this. Look at this.
Who has done a great job as your attorney general.
Oh,
always being fair, but very, very tough.
Boy, if you don't go sit out somewhere, stop telling this lie.
Come on, bro. Come on now. So that's all I'm gonna say. You know, I'm like, really? And then you got these idiotic trolls all over social media.
They just this is MAGA.
And the wonderful people of Kentucky know it. You've learned it. You've seen it. You've been watching it. He is strong, reliable, and loves your state and our nation. Daniel is a tremendous fighter on crime, lowering taxes, saving our Second Amendment, stopping inflation, and, of course, helping our great military and our vets. We love our vets. Daniel strongly supports law enforcement and is endorsed by the Kentucky Fraternal Order of Police.
That
will
didn't
not
help.
allow men to participate in women's sports, fully supports our teachers and getting our children caught up from the massive learning loss caused from Beshear's educational policies, which have been a disaster for Kentucky. He will eliminate Kentucky's income tax and will support the working men and women of Kentucky, just like I did for 4 great years.
And it didn't work. So how about that? Yeah. Yeah, he done. He angling now for a job. He gonna call up Trump tomorrow, talking about something. Hey, since you're gonna be the RNC pick, can I get a job? Can I be the Attorney General? Oh Lord, have mercy. I almost want to play that Diana King song, a lot of mercy, 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 but I know I get a copyright. You know what? Maybe I could get away with it. Maybe I get away with it. I might have to cut it up real fast. We got to cut it up real fast. Yeah, we gonna cut this up real fast. Oh God, he got killed. I gotta find the numbers. Where are the numbers? Where's the numbers? Where's the numbers? Where's the numbers? I need the numbers. Where are the numbers? Let me see. Kentucky. Election. I need the numbers. I need to see how much he got his ass kicked by. Oh, here we go. I didn't see how much he got his ass kicked by. It was actually a lot closer than I thought it would be. He only lost by about 66,000 votes. It's actually pretty close. It's kind of crazy. Well, he lost. He lost. This is beautiful. Oh, yeah, Torian, go ahead and do it one time. Do that PPP. Get him one time. It'd be kind of funny. All of that. Just get your ass kicked. Yeah. Yeah, we might have to send out Daniel the right way. Let me see. Come on. Yeah. That's crazy. Ohio and Kentucky are going to hell right now. I know Black Light. He got like 7. He got like 7 live streams ready to go. Let's see. Yeah, we getting this song right now. I think I got it. Oh, we got it. Oh, I'm gonna cut this motherfucker up. I'm finna cut this up. But you know what? Anybody want to talk? Put a 1 if you want to come up and talk. Put a 2 if you don't. I'm gonna let y'all legislate that while I cut this up real fast. We got to do we got to do Daniel Cameron perfectly. We got to get him perfectly. We got to get him. Yeah, we got to we got to get him. Yeah, we got to get him. We got to get him right. Yeah, we got to get him right. This is crazy. How do you lose to a Democrat in a red state? Where was Mitch McConnell? Why didn't old Mitch come outside? This is what I'm trying to figure out real quick. Why didn't Mitch come outside? But oh, I know why he didn't come outside. He froze up. He froze up. Yes, exactly, Casey. He probably froze up. Oh, Daniel. Damn, Daniel. Damn, Daniel. How do you fail that badly, sir? Come on. Oh God. What happened? I might have to blame Torian. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. We should blame himself. If he'd have prosecuted them cops that killed Breonna Taylor, he might have won. He might have won. But you know, he didn't, and he lost. Sucks to be him. Whew. That's gotta suck. But anyway, I don't know if that we call that betrayal. He wasn't even on our team anyway. Tool is broken. Well, he'll disappear now. One can hope. Probably not. Tell you, he gonna try to talk to Trump to see if he could get in and be Attorney General of the country. But yeah. Well, Daniel, when you saw those returns. Mm. Hey, what other races? Let's see what other races they got up, and then I guess I'll get up out of here. Let's see what other races they got out here that we might be interested in. I still can't believe Sheila Jackson Lee might have a shot of being goddamn Houston mayor. Motherfuckers, what are y'all doing down there? Let's see. They elected some. Well, Biden appointed some judges. Yeah. Let's see. Ooh. Here we go. I don't know if this is true or not, but the House of Representatives has voted to censure Rashida Tlaib for her anti-Semitism. 22 Democrats voted in favor of it. Interesting. Let's see what else. Indy mayor. Oh, so he got reelected. Okay. What the hell is this? Okay. That's a lot of water. Rue Landau becomes first out LGBT city council member for the city of Philadelphia. Philly Gay News introduces her at her election night party. So who the hell is it?
First out candidate.
Where is she? Oh, that's her? Okay. All right. Do your thing. Well, goddamn. All right, Tuberville, do your thing. Yeah. They saying the GOP. Another GOP, they didn't go outside again. Okay. Oh, yeah. You say you're gonna watch Bad Boys after this? Why not? Why not? Let's get it. And Bougie Wright was looking right in that movie. She was. Yeah, she was looking right. Okay, it's a wrap. All right. What the hell is this? Today we stand here today, not a separate individual. Who the hell is this? City council races in New York. GOP's Mamarado leads in the Bronx. Brandon cruises in Brooklyn. Uh-oh. Oh, well, he's a Democrat. That's Brooklyn expected. I'm actually, wow. A Republican won in the Bronx? Holy crap. Republicans in New York City appeared on the verge of picking up a council seat in the East Bronx on Tuesday night, even as they fell short in another bitterly contested race in southern Brooklyn. Republican Christy Marmarado, who ran against new housing development in the mostly low-rise district, appeared to score an upset victory against incumbent city council member Marjorie Velasquez, a Democrat representing several Bronx neighborhoods, including Morris Park, Throgs Neck, and City Island. Ooh, where they got money. Okay. In Brooklyn, Democrat incumbent Justin Brandon cruised to a win over Democrat turned Republican Ari Kagan in a bitter battle over Bay Ridge and parts of Coney Island. Brandon was up 58% to 36% with nearly all votes counted, and he declared victory over his opponent at an election night party. Here we go. In a newly drawn Asian majority district nearby, probably over in, what is that? Bensonhurst? No, wait, if he's doing, Bay Ridge and parts of Coney Island. Oh, so yeah, it's probably, okay. So that's probably near Bay Ridge. Democrat Susan Zhuang handily defeated GOP rival Ying Tan and Conservative Party candidate Vito Labella. And in Harlem, Democrat Yusef Salam celebrated the unlikely arc that landed him in elected office Tuesday. A Central Park exonerated 5-member was wrongly accused of rape, vilified, jailed, and finally cleared before running for office 2 decades later. Wow. So he got the office. Okay. In the Bronx, with nearly all the ballots counted, unofficial results showed Mamarado ahead of Velasquez by more than 800 votes. A lead that would be unlikely to be reversed through a count of mail-in ballots. Ooh, the surprising upset of an incumbent lawmaker would be an indication of just how far to the right that section of the Bronx has drifted in recent years. Part of a larger trend as New York grows more purple, even though Democrats far outnumber Republicans in the district. Huh. If this keeps going and Eric Adams keeps screwing around, who knows? New York might go red. Who knows? Democrat Representative Richie Torres, a close ally of Velasquez, had called the race the most important in the city. We can't afford to have a MAGA Trump Republican win a council seat in the most Democratic county in America. Huh? The Bronx is the most Democratic county in America? Okay. I didn't know that. It would be a national embarrassment, he said recently. Who the hell is this? Oh, that's Yusef. I was like, I thought it was going to be one of these Africans again. All right. Shout out to him. I'm sure Trump's going to be pissed. But okay. Eastern Queens. All right. So he ran unopposed. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Well, there's that. Yeah, Richie is a scumbag. We know this, but you know. Fun times. Fun times. Still can't get over Daniel Cameron getting his ass kicked. Even with a Trump endorsement, you got your ass kicked. Got it. All right. I'm getting up out of here. I'm getting tired. I appreciate y'all coming through to this. I know they ain't gonna give me no monetization for this, but I'd rather give the family as much information as I can. So take care, stay safe, enjoy the rest of your evening. Dream good dreams. And you know what to do when the agents of chaos come to mess up your night, I guess.